When things are hard, it's easy to slip into a feeling as if everything is falling apart in your life. And one of the most challenging aspects of that is feeling like you're actually falling off the healing path itself. When you take a step backwards, or when you had an old condition come up again, or when you're slumping into a space of depression once more. One of the most painful aspects of that is feeling like you are regressing and that healing is being stopped in its tracks. But I'm here to tell you in this video that you haven't failed anything. You haven't done anything wrong. And in fact, what you're experiencing right now is a symptom of healing. I'm Asia Suler of One Willow Apothecaries, and this video is about how everything is a symptom of healing. Another way of thinking about this concept of everything being a symptom of healing is this phrase of everything's happening for me. This was a phrase and an awareness that came into my consciousness when I was dealing with chronic illness, and it was incredibly important for me to continually put this at the center of my altar and in my awareness. How does my whole experience of reality, what's going on in my body, what's going on in the world at large shift when I can embrace this idea that everything is happening for me? Not everything's happening to me, which places me in this perpetual position of powerlessness as a victim. But how is this happening for me, for my growth, for my expansion? Now, here's the truth. We are always moving towards healing. Even when we're having something challenging come up in our body, that's our body's way of communicating that there's an imbalance and there's something that needs to be addressed here. Our body is a benevolent communicator, so even the things that are painful, or even the things that feel like are a regression, are actually our body's way of, in a very loving way, using the tools it has, communicating to us that there is healing needed. In this way, everything that's going on in your body is actually a symptom of healing in your spirit. Now, this concept of this idea that we're always moving towards healing is displayed over and over and over again in the earth around us. If you've ever dug a hole in the ground, maybe ripped out the plants that are there, torn up the roots of a tree that was there, and then just let it sit for a season, I guarantee you're going to come back the next year and it will be totally grown up again with plants. It'll be visited by new flora, by new fauna. This is the truth of the earth. The earth is in a perpetual cycle of healing and growth. So we don't need to look any further than really our backyards to see that healing is the natural state and progression of the world. So from this perspective, everything is healing. The earth cares most deeply about creating sustainable growth through diversity and creativity. And one of the ways in which the earth does this is through sometimes feeding the healing that is dissolution. Now, on a tangible level, we can look at this through the realm of fungi or mushrooms. That even when something seems like it's in decay, in truth, that's actually feeding new life. And we need these endings in order to experience new beginnings. Death feeds life. And so whatever it is that you're experiencing in your body that is seeming like a mini death, or maybe even in your life, in your relationships, in your worldview, these challenging times are actually symptoms of the fact that there are deep healing currents going on for you in your life and your wider spirit. Healing currents that are connected into these wider dreams of the earth, these dreams of creating more diversity, creativity, and life, beginning with connecting into your own creativity and capacity for embracing your own inner diversity. Oftentimes when we have a healing crisis, it's actually not a symptom of stepping backwards, it's a symptom of stepping forwards. So in herbalism, we use this term healing crisis when we're working with a client and they're having something come up in their body, in their healthscape that used to be an issue, but that they've started moving away from. And I know for myself, when I've experienced healing crisis, it feels like I'm stepping backwards. It feels like a huge regression, and it can be incredibly scary. But oftentimes it's actually a sign that we're walking that spiral path. And even though we continue to walk forward, we revisit that same place on the spiral again and again. But each time we're in a different place and we're ready to release more. So from a shamanic perspective, it's this idea of going through an initiation where you are literally dismembered, taken apart, so you can be put back together again. And this too is part of the healing. Sometimes where we are in our consciousness, it's not quite big enough to hold where we're going. And so we need these moments of dissolution in order to be able to widen our aperture and really open our awareness to all the possibilities that are here for us in this lifetime. What would happen if you could take this belief and really bring it to the center of your consciousness, that everything is a symptom of healing? Beginning with your life, applying it to your experiences, your relationships, and then expanding out this belief to the world at large. It can be really easy, especially when we get lost in the news cycles, to start to feel a sense of hopelessness and despondency looking at the world. But if we simply take this one perspective shift and start to see things a little bit differently, we can actually open up these reservoirs of not only hope, but our creative energy to be continually moving forward in the healing that this earth is asking us to be a part of. What if everything that we're seeing in the news cycle is also a symptom of healing? This too is showing us something that is lurking within the consciousness, the collective consciousness, that is limiting our growth. And we need to be able to see it in order to dismantle it, dismember it, and then be open to these wider possibilities and expansion of growth here on this planet. The body, the psyche, our earth is always moving towards healing. The way to make that process be even more fluid and easeful and accelerate it is just to bring your awareness. It's all about bringing our awareness to the concept or idea that what we are experiencing every day is a symptom of healing. So take this into your life and see how it changes the way you experience the things that are happening within and around you. Maybe you had something challenging go on today, this week, this month. Take a moment now and ask yourself, how could this be a symptom of healing? I promise you, if you can take on this one mindset shift, it will change your whole perception of the world and therefore your experience as someone who is co-creating healing on this planet. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What shifted in you when you took on this mantle, this idea of everything as a symptom of healing? And if you love this content, be sure to head on over to my website, onewillowapothecaries.com, where there's so much more content like this on my blog, and also the opportunity to sign up for my bi-weekly missives, where I send these meditative insights and pieces of expansion and awareness directly to your inbox. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to continually expanding our awareness of what healing truly is.